which was your 24th out of 25 attempts, goes something like this. On July 26, 1998, at 9:29:31 a.m., the record 246-way formation was held for a total of 7.36.
So we have this momentous task that we have to achieve of everybody in this room. How do we get 260 people to achieve the same goal?
What we're going to attempt to break here is Roger Nelson's record that he set in 1998.
He was never one to put barriers in front of people. And I'm pretty sure he's smiling right now, looking at us doing this dueling 200 ways, one of which is challenging his 246 way.
It is so exciting to see what honestly Doug has done with the community and getting people excited about it again.
Who knows where it will go in the future with people like Doug Barron and the team that he has working with him.
The 250 came into my mind in 2017 when I was a participant at the 217-219 world record for sequential record. At that event, they gave us some stats about participants and age, and that, as well as my experience in the sport over the last few years before that, you could tell that big ways had a stigma about them on the belly side, and that it was only a certain group of individuals and it was hard to get into, and that group of individuals was starting to get deep into their skydiving career. And I kind of thought that because we had so few people that were younger in age as well as younger in just jump numbers in the sport, that we were seeing that it could be starting to trend away from making big ways happen again. So at that time, I took it upon myself, because I love big waves and I just think that they're absolutely amazing. There's so many logistics, and like when it comes together and it actually happens, it's one of the most rewarding things in the world.
So All-American Big Waves has been around since the first event was 2016 here at Skydive Chicago. And what we recognized in the big wave community is that it was kind of a dying discipline within the sport. And so Doug formed All-American Big Waves in order to bring up the younger jumpers in the discipline of big waves. So the aim of the events was to do some high-level stuff, but also provide an avenue for younger skydivers to learn the discipline and to help develop their skills so they could be part of something like the 250 state record.
If we didn't change the public perception in the sport and the motivation of the younger jumpers, age and jump numbers, so that big waves would die. So at that point I was like, man, I'm gonna set a goal for myself that I wanna organize a 200 way plus, and then that's kind of where the vision was born. What we're trying to do is almost nearly impossible, and it's gonna happen because of the team that we have, the leadership, the knowledge, the skill set of all the individuals. That's what's gonna bring this together.
The 250 is the biggest event that we've ever done. The logistics that goes into something like this is a lot.
My dream of 250 is just a dream until you have the people around you that can help support it and make it happen, and they have to believe in what you want to do as well.
Yeah, this will be a long-running project that we started many, many years ago. We're anxious to try to get a new architecture, new framing, new management team, and make it successful this time around.
My name's Dave Schwartz. I am a pilot for Eagle Air Transport. That's the aircraft arm of Skydive Chicago. And my role here at the World Record event is kind of leading the flight department and all the flight operational stuff. This event is unique in that it's 2 big way events in one. So we have a 250 way belly event, and at the same time we have a 200 way world record vertical attempts going on. We have 4 different aircraft types that we're running. That's one of the challenges actually about the event, is there's different performance characteristics to the aircraft. So some airplanes like to climb faster than others. So we're trying to having to kind of find a middle ground that works for everybody. It's an 11 ship formation for the 250 way, and it's a 9 ship formation for the 200 way.
In total, we have, I think, 6 Twin Otters, 2 Skyvans, 2 Casas, and 1 Sherpa, and a fleet of mechanics to make sure that the planes stay running with whatever they need to run oxygen bottles. I think we have over 150 oxygen bottles here right now.
So the oxygen, anytime we're going up high like this, we do have to have supplemental oxygen for the jumpers to breathe on the way up, and for the flight crews as well. Depending on the aircraft, to 19,000 feet, we're probably going to be able to get 2 or 3 loads off a bottle. For some of the larger airplanes like the Casas and the Sherpas, there's more people breathing that O2, so they end up burning through more of it. So they're basically just checking O2 after every single flight, and then if it needs to be changed, they're doing that right then.
One thing that we discovered in 2022 when we did the last 200 way vertical attempt and Doug did a 100 way was that to turn the airplanes took a really long time.
When we first started planning the event, the first thought was to fly the 200 way, then shut all those 9 airplanes down, refuel them, then spin up all 11 airplanes, fly the 250 way, shut everybody down, and just rinse and repeat. And when we started looking at the schedule for that, it was really going to be difficult to get enough jumps in, because they want to do 7 jumps each day, 4 for the free fly guys and 3 for the belly formation. And so the solution that was found for that was, well, we'll just build 7 more fuel farms.
So what we did this year is that Donovan, my director of maintenance, came up with these fuel cubes that are often used in like remote fueling applications where you're landing in where there's maybe not even a runway, maybe in a helicopter operation. And we have 9 of these fuel cubes so that when the airplanes land, we hot fuel them in place, and then we're able to load the jumpers. So basically in the same amount of time as a normal hot fuel at any given drop zone, we're doing that times 9 airplanes.
For this event, we had a much more in-depth briefing on Sunday night before the first of the big way loads went. One of the challenges that we had to deal with was just ramp space. When you look around here at Skydive Chicago on a normal weekend, it looks like we have just a ton of ramp space here. But then you bring in 11 sort of mid-size aircraft and all of a sudden there's not much ramp space anymore. And we knew right away that we were going to have to use some grass to do that. But the grass areas that would make kind of the most sense in terms of aircraft efficiency and positioning would eat into our landing area, and we didn't want to take away landing space from the jumpers. A lot of time and effort went into figuring out exactly where to position aircraft, not only so that we could get them all into position, but also figuring out all the sequencing.
Dave Schwartz did a fantastic job orchestrating the ballet of ground movements, of like how we can move airplanes in and out, and taxi order, staging order, so that way when we taxi out, we're in the correct order for taking off to build the formation, and did a fantastic job recruiting the pilots that are here. A lot of people have like the most formation experience of any people that in our network. He did a great job assembling those people, and it is an absolute team effort to get this to happen.
Without the team around me, it wouldn't be possible. Surround yourself with great people and great things will happen.
This event in particular has shed light on sharing the load of everything, and he brought in some of the best organizers from around the country and around the world to help out with that.
I'm Christy Freakin. I'm one of the captains here at the Illinois 250 record attempt. The big thing is it takes just so much effort to run one of these events. There are so many moving parts. Our jobs as captains is primarily to do everything we can to help the athletes achieve their best so that we have the best possible chance at a record. I generally try to stay in the same mindset that I think I would like everybody in my group to be, which is focused on the important details, the process that gets us there. Thinking about the outcome, like I want the outcome just as bad as anybody, right? But thinking about the outcome is not helpful. Thinking about the steps that I need to take specifically to make that happen. And it's the basics, right? Like it's staying calm, identifying, intercepting, looking, and keeping my headspace in that space that I'm seeing and understanding what's happening and making the best possible decisions at every second. Even as a captain, right? Like it's tempting, actually, I have to be honest, sometimes it's tempting to look around and try to absorb extra information because you're going to use that information to coach later. My goal is always to not get so wrapped up in that I can't demonstrate and perform my job. And if you get your mind bogged down in like, is it going to be a record? Are we got it? Do we got it? If the outcome is your only metric of success, I think that's when you start to have a perfection tendency, and I think that tends to derail people. It's really about the process. Like, here are the steps that I need to do every single time. And if I focus on those, I know that the outcome will naturally happen.
My name is Elliot Bird. I'm an aerial photographer and videographer, and at the 250, I am running the video team. It's a real honor that Doug put his faith in me to run the video team for this event and to ensure that, you know, when the record happens, that we capture it all on video. The record could happen in a split second. We could have all grips on for half a second to a second, and we have to make sure to capture that. So the pressure there of not letting down 250 people, if it all comes together and they make it happen, is a lot, but we can do it. With a formation this size, there's a reason we have 4 videographers, and there's a lot of things that the captains need to see for debrief purposes to help make sure this record happens. So there's several things that they need to see on our video in order to give direction and to improve the performance of everyone on the jump. So one of the things we need to capture is all of the divers coming out of the plane. So we've positioned a videographer towards the back of the 11 plane formation. When they exit, they're going to be filming all the planes and all the people coming out to make sure they're getting out efficiently and going to their correct radial. Videographers need to capture the base exit, so the center chunk of the formation coming out. They need to capture all the divers coming out of the trail planes. They need to capture the stadium, so everyone's approach to the base to start building that formation. They need to capture all the grips that are being taken, especially when all the grips are on, so we have the record shot. And then they need to capture the break-off waves of everyone getting away from the formation when it's time to pull. There's a lot of pressure filming the 250.
Welcome, skydiving fans, to the Dueling 200 Ways! Hi, my name is Chris Ace Acevedo.
And my name is Lindsay Fenner. We are here at Skydive Chicago, live in Ottawa, Illinois.
2 records are going to be set while we're here at Skydive Chicago. 250 of them are going to get in 11 different aircraft, go up to 18,000 feet, and then build a 250 way, which is the Illinois state record.
There has never been 2 200 plus formations going down at the same time in the same place. This is unprecedented. The Illinois state record currently sits at 246 people. That was set 27 years ago. This week, when they are attempting the 250-way state record, this is the first time since the 400-person world record that a formation this size has even been attempted. So this is a big deal, guys. That's why we're here. That's why we're live. That's why we're doing this. The people here are really coming together to try to make this happen.
We just watched all 11 aircraft take off, and they're up in the air. That's 250 people on those airplanes ready to get their first attempt at setting a new record. They are at 18,000 feet.
They are 15 nautical miles away as we speak.
Something has happened. We are getting some information.
The 11 aircraft are up at the top right now and have made the decision based on safety that they are not going to make this skydive. So they're all currently riding the plane down right now. They are not doing the jump. The attempt has been aborted. They have aborted this attempt. There are no jumps to be had today. We are currently on a weather hold. We've been on weather holds all day. We're just waiting out the weather. We are still waiting it out.
We're constantly battling with weather. We are completely socked in.
We have been on a weather hold. We've been on weather hold on and off all day today, all day yesterday.
The first few days have been a little stressful for me, for sure, with things that are out of my control and situations that we've had to deal with. And it can be demoralizing.
Was there ever a point where you doubted this event can even happen?
No. To accomplish goals, you don't act on doubts. If you have a doubt, that's a problem, and then you solve that problem. If there's a factor outside of my control, then that's it. But everything within my control, I do everything that I can to build success. Your vision needs to be on success, and that's how mine is. That's what I view. Everything that I do is structured towards the success. And that's how the mindset has to be. Failure is not an option. Success is everybody staying safe, everybody staying healthy, and then the positive impact that this is going to have for the next 20 years. That's what I want to see. I want to see people have positive things to say about what we did and be a motivation factor for those to continue to do this.
I think the records are the achievement, but I want people to think about the time that they've spent getting to the record, right? Because this is just the culmination of many, many years of training and recruiting and hard work and lots of money and time, like dedication and ultimately a lot of time. While the record is a cool moment, like the journey to get here is just as important. And the memories that you have, the people that you meet, the things that you get to do, the places that you get to travel, like those are the reflections when you're in your nursing home. I hear stories from people that used to jump at Skydive Chicago a long time ago, and they're like, man, the times at the drop zone were the best times of my life.
I want to continue to change and motivate this sport in a discipline that I love. I love just as much as four-way and competition. Those are the big things that drive me to make this happen. And when people say it's hard and it's not possible, fortunately, that just motivates me more.
The cloud situation was not conducive for us to put a 250 weight in. I think everybody's aware of that. At this point in the event, we are going to take every opportunity possible to make any jump. And that's how it's going to be.
I've been visualizing. Well, the first thing I see is the 6 of us standing on the tailgate. Then I see us stepping off. And then I can see myself checking the 12 o'clock side, all the way through to 3, back out to 9. Seeing Dan BC's face right across from me smiling. He's saying his side's good and my side's good. That's what I see. Stepping off the tailgate and I watch 10 other airplanes go past me. That's kind of how I put myself to sleep at night. Everybody's gonna fail in their life. You have to. You have to fail in life. And through those moments of failure, that's how you grow and become even stronger. Everything's easy when you just win all the time. To have adversity throughout life, I think helps shape us for dealing with failure. How do I prepare myself for failure here? I don't really prepare myself for failure. I do everything I can to prepare for success. If failure happens, then we deal with it then, analyze why it failed, create a plan, and not have it fail again. I hope that people remember how great it was and what it meant to them and the significance of what we're trying to do, of what we will do. This is just the beginning.